Faux host Tucker Carlson abruptly the faux host the racist Tucker Carlson had abruptly cut away as January 6th committee showed shocking Capitol riot footage. Now, the previously unseen video footage, testimony, and documentary evidence presented during a primetime U.S. hearing that happened on Thursday night made the case that the January 6th Klan assault on the Capitol last year was part of an organized attempt that was spearheaded by former squatter Donald Trump to subvert the results of the 2020 election, and basically they planned on installing an illegitimate government. It was basically the hearing was aired by virtually every major news network except for Faux, which is the most watched channel in the United States, which I don't see how that's even possible. But the hearing opened with a statement from the chair of the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th Klan attack on the U.S. Capitol, which has been wielding congressional authority to probe the 2021 insurrection and the role that Trump, his White House staff, his outside allies, and Republican lawmakers played in the violent attempt to prevent certification of the President Joe Biden's rightful election victory. Um, Donald Trump had his days in court to challenge the results. Um, Basically, Benny Thompson, who's Representative Benny Thompson, a Democrat from Mississippi, said in his remarks, kicking off the hearing in the first, which is the first in the series that's set to run up until July. He was within his rights to seek those judgments, but in the United States, the law-abiding citizens have those tools for pursuing justice. He lost in the courts just as he did the ballot box, and in this country, that's the end of the fucking line. Now, but for Donald Trump, that was only the beginning of what became a sprawling multi-step conspiracy aimed at overturning the presidential election, aimed at throwing out, and he basically was aimed at throwing out the votes of millions of Americans, which is your vote, your voice in our democracy, and replacing the will of the American people with his will to remain in power after his term ended. Donald Trump was at the center of this conspiracy, Thompson continued, and January 6th was the culmination of an attempted coup. Um, Now, the hearing, it featured a familiar case that falsehood riddled speech just ahead of the Klan Capitol attack, as well as his repeated lies about the election results in the preceding weeks, it helped spur the violence that took place on that day. And by delaying, but it did not. They delayed it a little bit, but they did not prevent it. But Congress still certified Biden's rightful victory, and made it official um, despite the objections of dozens of House and Senate Republicans. Now, those who invaded the Capitol and battled law enforcement for hours were motivated by what Trump had told them, that the election was stolen, which it wasn't, and that he was the rightful squatter, which he was not. This is what Representative Liz Cheney, a Republican from Wyoming, had said. The voice of the vice chair of the House panel. Now, the squatter Trump summoned the mob. He assembled the mob, and he lit the flame that led up to this attack. Now, during her remarks, Cheney said that Representative Scott Perry, who's a Republican from Pennsylvania, was among multiple Republican members of Congress who sought presidential pardons, or sought pardons from Trump in general. Now, if you claim you did not commit a fucking attack, then why the fuck would you need a goddamn pardon? Um, if you didn't commit an attack, you don't need a fucking pardon one bit. Now, Cheney hinted that additional evidence on the pardon requests will be reviewed at the future hearings. Now, interspersed in between Thompson and Cheney statements of clips, it was of testimony from Trump allies and officials directly involved with the former squatter's months-long campaign to cast doubt and toss out the 2020 results. Basically, Attorney General William Barr basically told the squatter Trump that his lies was all bullshit. And in late 2020, he helped bolster Trump's basis election fraud claims, but he told the committee in one clip, "I didn't want a part of it." While Trump himself, who has tried to obstruct the panel's investigation at every turn, has not been called on to testify. But Thursday's hearing highlighted video comments from his wife Ivanka, who told investigators that she accepted Barr's assessment of her father's claims. She said, "I respect Attorney General Barr, so I respected what he was saying when he said my father had lost." Now, the hearing also included in-person testimony from British documentary filmmaker Nick Quested, who was embedded with the far-right Trump-aligned Proud Boys in the aftermath of the 2020 election, and 5 members of the group whose ranks grew significantly in 2020, and they were indicted on charges of seditious conspiracy earlier this week over their involvement in the Klan attack on the Capitol. For anyone who didn't understand how violent that was, we saw it, we documented it, and we experienced it. This is what Quested told committee members. Now, Lisa Gilbert, The executive vice president of Public Citizens said in a statement following the hearing that the sober investigative facts and gripping video presented by the bipartisan committee simply speaks for itself. Now, with all reasonable Americans, we should be feeling disgust at what we learned, as well as passionate interest in the facts and evidence that will be unveiled next. This is what Gilbert added. Now, when these hearings conclude, we will expect action. It's long past time for accountability and the reckoning for the perpetrators. Now, Stand Up America Executive Director Christina Harvey similarly argued that Thursday's hearing offered further evidence of the undeniable conspiracy to overthrow the will of the American people. Tonight's hearing made clear that the attack. So for the Thursday hearing, basically, it made clear that the attack on our country on January 6th of 2021 was not just random, said Harvey. It was designed and orchestrated by Donald Trump and his maggot Republicans to block the peaceful transfer of power and overthrow an election that even Trump's attorney general and his own family testified that they knew he lost. So if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for just a little as a few bucks a month, your channel can help the donation can help go a long way. And thanks for listening.